Welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review, episode number 28. Now, am I reviewing a new episode of the regular anime? Nope, I'm reviewing the first of the 23 films that were released. Yep, the first film is called The Time Bomb Skyscraper. And here's the thing about this film. Like with the anime, it was indeed dubbed. Though, out of the 23 films released, only the first 6 have been dubbed. The first 6. Yep, this one was released in 1997, roughly 2 years after the anime started. Yeah, 22 years ago. This film ran for an hour and 36 minutes. Okay, an hour and a half. Very typical length for an anime movie. Also the standard length of a horror film. Yep, starts out with basically doing the whole, you have Conan doing the sleeping more thing. Well, basically trying to solve murder of a doctor. Like, the 3 people who are suspected are basically his wife, his son, his eldest son, and the maid. And Richard Moore falsely accuses the wife. Nope, it was not the wife. So basically, Conan's like, on the right track, and when he accuses the wrong person, he's like, oh, gotta knock him out. Click, knock him out, doing the whole sleep more thing. And, yeah, deduces that it was indeed the maid. Why? Because apparently, get this doctor, when doing surgery on her late husband, he apparently was drunk while he was doing surgery. Yeah, normally no doctor would ever do surgery drunk. That is by far really stupid. Were the nurses that day really that dumbfounded at seeing a doctor that was drunk and they couldn't bother to, I don't know, stop him? Nope, he just did surgery anyways, and a man died. And in Communism Monsters, and basically she tried many times, tried police, doctors. Apparently no one believed her. Look, if a doctor was drunk performing while attempting to do surgery, yeah, he would be removed immediately. He would be called out and be a replacement doctor. That's normal standard procedure. This is what I heard. Yeah, but normally a doctor would not try to do surgery drunk. That is by far really stupid. You have to be sober in order to do frickin' surgery. I personally am not a doctor, but I'm sure the fact that there's probably there's regular practices. Probably the reason why he's able to get away with it because he's a highly respected doctor. He would probably lose a lot of credibility. I'm sure he probably did with his death. Yep. And then we have sort of basically you have Jimmy at Professor Goth's house. I should point out though, it is so good to hear the dub's voices again. You have Bruce Elliott voicing Richard Moore, Jerry Jordan doing the inner thoughts for Conan, Colin Clickenbeard doing Rachel Moore, which is quite good. I haven't heard her voice in months. Yeah, last time I think I heard her basically doing the voice for Rachel was back, I believe it was February, when I finished doing all the dub. Yep, and oh boy, like if you've seen how the animation looks and this one compared to if you watch anything come out recently for Case Closed, like my gosh, wow, such a drastic departure. Like, because this came out 22 years ago, animation style was so different back then. One thing, Conan had big ears back then. Like, I completely forgotten because it's been a while since months since I watched the early episodes, and wow. It is something, though, the fact that this was like this. Yep. The fact that his ears were so freaking big. Yep. And he gets basically, you have Jimmy be invited to a tea party hosted by a respected architect who's also a professor for some reason. Yep, and he invited a bunch of celebrities, magicians. Now, one of them basically Conan recognizes, but they don't say who this guy is, just that he's a magician. And of course, Richard Moore gets invited, because why not? So Conan is able to do, so the puzzle he's able to do, that he gives out, shows how his gallery of really good building he designed. And of course, Richard Moore thinks he's an expert on freaking buildings. Like an architect should be a book he's having. Conan basically points out, but he basically allows us to slip because, well, he's an idiot. Yep. Oh, and the one who voices Jimmy Conan in the dub when he's a child is Alison Rocha. That's who voices her. Amy is voiced by Monica Rail. Mitch is voiced by Cindy Cruz. George is voiced by Damian Clarkey. Nero Santos, aka Expecto Sorochi, he's voiced by the awesome Eric Vale. Always great to hear his guy's voice. Serena's voiced by Laura Bailey. Yeah, the thing with Serena is she only appears for like 2 scenes. This whole film, she doesn't do anything. She's just there participating with Rachel when she's going shopping for apparently for Jimmy's birthday present. Yeah, they don't say how old he's turning. Oh, May 3rd is his birthday for some reason, and apparently red is the color month for it's the color month of May. Also, forgot to mention this. Ray Richard was able to deduce that the wife was Maria. Her name basically Japanese, but it was the maid. Yep. So, and pretty much they also mentioning during the film that there was a theft of gunpowder and some kind of explosives. Then eventually, that there was mysterious, and of course, Jimmy, while he's at the house, gets a phone call because all calls directed at the Kudo house are forwarded to the Gasa house. And apparently it's a bomb, and of course he's informed about a bomb, so he basically rushes to the park on his skateboard. Yes, his solar-powered skateboard, who he decides to ditch, like, after he finds when he finds second bomb. And apparently the thing was also damaged, and here's kind of the weird thing about it. They apparently don't go retrieve it. It just basically just lying in the middle of the street. No one bothers, like the guy picks up, but doesn't bother to give back to him. Nope. Yeah, how the first bomb is that, well, apparently it was attached to a remote control airplane. Yep, the corner was able to take it out via the fact of the remote being damaged and using his shoes to basically destroy the airplane. Yep, though, basically, I think the Junior technically basically have some minor injuries. Yep, I think it was like a scrape, but they'll be fine. And of course, Conan finds out about the second bomb, which is basically trying to figure out where it is. And it's a cat carrier. Yep. A cat carrier, not the cat per se, but it's the cat carrier, and he's able to take it and basically he takes a bicycle, and the thing goes over. He tries to basically go to the riverbed, but the thing gets on the ground and of course causes an explosion. And Conan gets injured. He's by far the only person injured in this explosion because his head injured. Oh yeah, and Rachel knows nothing about this until the end of the movie. Yeah, she's completely oblivious. Like apparently Richard Moore was so stupid couldn't call Rachel. I'm sure she would be concerned for Conan's safety. But nope, don't bother to call her for some strange reason. Yes, do not bother to call her. Yeah, don't know why. And then, because in the hospital, basically, of course, he explains to McGuire. McGuire in the dub, occasionally, who voices him, is voiced by a guy named Mark Standard. I don't know who this guy is. Goss is voiced by Brian Flynn. Yep. Yeah, and basically Conan debriefs him what's going on, and also prior to him finding the second bomb, actually I think it's at one point in the movie he actually meets Santos for the first time. As far as I know, he already knew who he is later on, probably because it's a dub. Because normally he probably wouldn't know exactly who he is. But yeah, I don't think this was his first appearance. No, let me look up here about him. Yeah, I can probably find this. I don't think this was, as far as I know, this was not the character's first appearance. Nope, he already appeared in the anime. My guess is because he's not producing anime yet. Heck, there's a couple. Now, here's the point out, though. This guy never appeared in any dub episodes. Nope, he never did. He didn't appear to, the first Metropolitan Police love story, which at that point was only just subbed. It was never dubbed. Don't know why. Then, pretty much, afterwards, they basically find out there's bombs near trains. 5 of them. And of course, Detective Boys basically are on one of them, the Detective League, and well, and of course, this is also at a period of time where apparently the guys are a bit like Mitch and George are jealous over Amy's basically obsessive affections for Conan. Yeah, in fact, he holds his hand. He goes, "You dog!" Even Richard Burr's like, "You're popping with the ladies, Conan," which that's indeed true. Conan is popping with the ladies. That explain why, both as a child and as an adult, Conan slash Jimmy has got 4 women in love with him. Yeah, the Jimmy has got 2 women in love with him. Actually, 3. Basically, it's Rachel, who he does confess his feelings to. You also have Masami Sarah, which it's implied that she does have feelings for him, but she won't basically interrelate. And Anita. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so like after they pretty much how they find the bombs basically solar powered. Yeah, it mentioned about the solar powered skateboard. It would stop it past this particular gas post. For some reason, I'm still wondering like why the heck could they won't go after the damn skateboard? Like give it back to him. Nope, just don't give it back to him for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just bizarre. Yeah, it's never explained of why. And then like they find the bombs. Of course, they have the trains go out of control, going 60 miles per hour, and then eventually they get to stop via transporting on the cargo train route, and they would defuse the bombs pretty easily. One, of course, had to be on that bridge designed by the architect. And apparently, this is where we figure out that Santos is a lover of architecture. Yep. Yeah, lover of architecture. Where basically he's a big fan of his, and and it's like Conan's like, "Yep, I know exactly where his house is." And she pointed out that after this scene, Agasa is never seen after this. He's just leaving the hospital. Agasa's looking at the window, and that's the last you see of him in the whole film. At Junior Detective Lady, they just look for the train, look for suspicious. They don't find anything. They get off the train, and then they're never seen again. Nope, they're just never seen again. Oh yeah, this was his first appearance. Yep. But in the anime, his first appearance was in episode 146, which was the first Metropolitan Police love story. But yeah, this technically was his first anime appearance, so it kind of makes sense. Make appearance here. Yep. And they go up to the guy's house, and while we have McGuire, Moore, and Santos talking to the architect who designed these buildings, of course, to get information, Conan just basically just snoops around his house, comes across the gallery he went to earlier, sees that a few of the buildings, basically the ones he designed, and they also mentioned that apparently Jimmy Kudo in a flashback apparently had deduced that get this, apparently a woman got run over by a car, and basically it was, and of course the guy confessed to it, was actually a son of a prominent councilman, and it turns out nope, he was actually not the killer. The person did it. No, it was the councilman who resigned, and apparently a housing project basically was going to do with shelved, was basically suspended indefinitely. And Conan finds it. Basically, it was not his project. It was actually this professor's project. Yep. It's Taija Midori. I think it's he pronounced the guy's name. Yep. They're able to basically find this out. Okay, his name in the dub is basically Leo Joel. Yep. Yeah, they changed his name from his other name in the sub. So they eventually after they find out that, well, thanks of course having Jimmy basically use his bow tie or phone, and basically deduce that he was behind, like Richard Moore basically incorrectly deduces that Santos was behind the bombings. Yeah, nope, it wasn't him. It was the architect because apparently he was trying to get rid of his imperfections. And Santos, an architecture expert, basically, yeah, they're not surgically safe. And of course, also there's a subplot. Basically, Rachel asking out Jimmy to a date at a movie theater. Yep, which he's not gonna make anyways because he's stuck as freaking Conan. And of course, by a present, and of course, go off the movie theater. And just by sheer coincidence, this was a building designed by Leo Joel, and there's a bomb there. And he apparently explains, yeah, because of the economy at the point, they also had to cut corners. Yep, he had to cut corners basically for this particular project. So yes, not only is he being charged with theft, attempted murder, like destruction of public property, he's also in charge with insufficient safety regulations. Yeah, this guy can be charged with a boatload of charges. Like, my gosh, like, oh my gosh, not just simple murder. Oh no, it's like a whole bunch of charges. Yes. And the place, basically, the building, basically, he put a whole bunch of bombs in here. Like, when the heck did they take time to actually do this? Yeah, I get the fact, yeah, he's the architect, but nope, he just basically planted bombs all over this place. Apparently, this building also has a movie theater as well. Apparently, there's a tower, and it's middle of Tokyo, this particular building. I don't know if this building really exists or not, I have no idea. Also, one of the 5 bombs that were off for the trains, yeah, they were actually on his bridge. Yep, at this building, and of course, Conan, prior to leaving the guy's house, takes the plans for his basically bomb, because that's give her the gym, basically run out to go save Rachel. He's able to get to her pretty easily after basically running through a bunch of debris, and she's able to defuse the bomb pretty simply, except for the last 2 wires. And well, basically the 2 wires that are actually not in the blueprints, a red and blue wire. And she's like, okay, which wire should I cut? And of course, before Jimmy can answer the question, rocks come down. She cuts the blue wire because something about a red string of thread connects the both of them for love. Yeah, I mean, I think even viewers can kind of tell Rachel is basically in love with Jimmy. Yeah, but she won't do anything about this until just recently, until they go on the trip to Kyoto. Hmm. Yep. And then of course, then after basically the meet with Conan again, it was like, and of course that's when she finally notices basically Conan's got an injury. Yep, Conan's got this bandage over his head. I'm glad the fact to keep the continuity pretty well. And they go off, everything's like perfectly fine. Yep, and that's pretty much how the movie ends. Also, Joel is just basically just left standing there. He's probably taken back at the police headquarters, but nothing much has happened with him. It's like, I get the fact, yes, this is the first film that TMS Entertainment did for Case Closed. I'd say story-wise, it's really good, except that you have characters who just disappear partway through the film with no explanation. You have Serena who appears completely at random, appears for 2 scenes, and that's it. Or at least the only people who were there for pretty much almost the entire film was basically Richard, Rachel, Inspector McGuire, and Conan. The only 4 of them have been there the whole film. Heck, even Santos appears like almost every scene. He at least gets good amount of screen time, which guys got praised him for that. And let's see, was there anything else? No. But for a first film, they didn't do too bad. The movie looks really good. Despite the fact, yes, the animation's from the late 90s, but it's fine. Yep. Good film. I'll give the film roughly I'll give it 8.5 out of 10. It has its problems, but at least it's a good film. At least it's exciting. Yep. And apparently the final scene was actually something that the writer actually wanted in the manga, but he couldn't get published in time, so they put it in the movie. Yep. And of course, this particular place was seen in the posters. Yep, you're going to see him basically in the promotion poster for this one. In the thumbnail, basically, it's this building exploding. Well, actually, it's not. You see, like, explosions. Of course, Conan has a skateboard. Yeah, a skateboard that disappears halfway through the movie with no explanation. I'm like, seriously. Yeah, as far as I can tell, like, they have stuff show up in the movie. Yeah, you have the Detective Bad Tales movie, the stun gun watch. At least all these other things are still saying about the whole movie, but the skateboard, nope, that disappears after, like, the one scene it's seen in. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the kid basically who's taking a bike from, who looks a lot like Mitch. Yeah, this kid, I don't know who this kid is, and he does not. There's no mention of ever play some bike after this. Yep. I mean, yeah, there's some minor plot holes with the damn film, but it's still a great film nonetheless. And I love that the Velma Santos gets in the film, like the fact revealing he's a architect enthusiast. Mhm. Yep. So yeah, good film. So that's it for this particular review. I have several other videos planned coming today. Another Case Closed video reviewing the newest episode of the anime, 2 comic corners, 2 movie reviews, and 2 manga reviews. Basically, yeah, about almost 9 videos today. Maybe 10, depends if I get the other 2 films on today, okay? But see you in the next video, which will be a review of My Hero Academia. Bye.